Epic Records is an American record label that runs as a division of Sony Music Entertainment. Originally conceived as a jazz imprint in 1953, it has since expanded to represent various genres. Today, the company is one of three main flagship labels for Sony Music, with the other two being Columbia Records and RCA Records. Their roster currently includes Michael Jackson, Fifth Harmony, Andre 3000, Avril Lavigne, A Great Big World, Ciara, Sara Bareilles, Future, Nicole Scherzinger, Tamar Braxton, The Fray, Sade, Bobby Shmurda, and Meghan Trainor. History, beginnings. Epic Records was launched in 1953 by Columbia Records for the purpose of marketing jazz, pop and classical music that did not fit the theme of its more mainstream Columbia Records label. Initial classical music releases were from Philips Records, which distributed Columbia product in Europe. Pop talent on co-owned OK Records were transferred to Epic, which made OK a rhythm and blues label. Epic's bright yellow, black, and blue logo became a familiar trademark for many jazz and classical releases. This has included such notables as the Berlin Philharmonic, Charles Rosen, the Juilliard String Quartet, Antal Doherty conducting the Hague Philharmonic, and George Szell conducting the Cleveland Orchestra. Expansion of genres and mainstream success. By 1960, the label's musical base had been expanded to include all genres. This was done in part to prevent the roster of Columbia Records from being overstuffed with newer artists. Subsequently, Epic became better known for its signing of newer, fledgling acts. By the end of the 1960s, Epic earned its first gold records and had evolved into a formidable hit-making force in rock and roll, R&B and country music. Among its many acts, it included Roy Hamilton, Bobby Vinton, the Dave Clark Five, the Hollies, Tammy Wynette, Donovan, the Yardbirds, Lulu, July, Helen Shapiro and Jeff Beck. Several of the British artists on the Epic roster during the 1960s were the result of CBS's Epic OK Unit's international distribution deal with EMI. Epic recordings were issued by EMI on the Columbia label. Also during the 1960s, Epic oversaw the smaller subsidiary CBS labels including OK Records and Date Records. In 1968, the Epic imprint was added in the UK and distributed by CBS after the distribution deal with EMI expired that year. Epic was involved in a notable trade of artists. Graham Nash was signed to Epic because of his membership in the Hollies. When the newly formed Crosby, Stills and Nash wanted to sign with Atlantic Records, Ahmet Ertegun worked out a deal with Clive Davis whereby Richie Fury's new band Paco would sign with Epic. Epic's commercial success continued to grow in the 1970s with releases from ABBA in the UK, Boston, Cheap Trick, The Clash, Charlie Daniels, Gabriel, Hart, Heatwave, the Isley Brothers, The Jacksons, George Jones, Label, Meat Loaf, Johnny Nash, Ted Nugent, REO Speedwagon, Minnie Riperton, Pegasus, Charlie Rich, Sly and the Family Stone, Steve V, and Edgar Winter. Also contributing to the label's success was its distribution of Philadelphia International Records, which produced additional hit records by acts such as The 3 Degrees and McFadden and Whitehead. Its 1980s and 1990s mainstream success were fueled by its signing and releasing of albums by notable acts such as Michael Jackson, Shakin' Stevens, Culture Club, Gloria Estefan and the Miami Sound Machine, Adam Ant, Living Colour, Prong, Dead or Alive, Europe, Cyndi Lauper, Ozzy Osbourne, Pearl Jam, Sade, Luther Vandross, Stevie Ray Vaughan, and Car Copyright Line Dion among others. The label's greatest pay dirt achievement came with the release Thriller, the 1982 album by Michael Jackson, which went on to achieve approximately 51 to 65 million in worldwide sales, becoming the biggest-selling album in history. More recently, other successful acts on the label have included Anastacia, Lana Del Rey, Jennifer Lopez, The Fray, Shakira, Korn, Fiona Apple, Ozzy Osbourne, Nate Storm, Modest Mouse, Chevelle, JLS, Mandy Moore, and Rage Against the Machine. 1980s-2000s, Sony bought CBS Records in 1987, and the company was renamed Sony Music in 1991. In 2004, Sony merged with another powerhouse music distributor, BMG, bringing labels such as RCA, Arista, Columbia, Epic, Jive, and many others under one parent company, Sony BMG. In February 2009, singer-songwriter Amanda Ghost was appointed president of Epic Records. Later in the year, Sony BMG Music merged Epic and Columbia's operations, and subsequently formed the Columbia Epic label Group Euro, but both labels continue to operate as separate brands. Sony BMG's legacy recordings reissues the company's classic and catalog titles. In addition, in the 1990s, European operations of Sony Music was integrated into two separate labels, Epic and Columbia. It was followed by Australian and New Zealand operation of Sony Music in 1997. The Japanese operation is called Epic Records Japan Incorporated, 2010 to present, Epic under L.A. Reid and Sylvia Rhone. In July 2011, L.A. Reid became the CEO of the Epic Records, which also includes various former Jive Records artists. Reid has already begun a new era in signing artists, having signed up YouTube sensation Carmen. Through Sony Music Entertainment's restructuring, artists such as TLC, Toni Braxton, Avril Lavigne, Outkast, Future, Yo Gotti and Ciara have joined Epic. Epic also signs the winners of the X Factor. It was confirmed in February 2012 that Sylvia Rhone, former president of Universal Motown, would be launching a new record label through Epic Records. As of April 2014, Epic Records was home to 51 artists. L.A. Reid was reportedly interested into signing Macklemore and Ryan Lewis, but both turned down Epic, saying that they were happy releasing material independently. On March 18, 2014, it was reported that Sylvia Rhone would be president of Epic Records accompanying CEO L.A. Reid. Rhone was formerly CEO of Universal Motown Records until 2011. In November 2014, it was announced that Mosley Music Group created a joint venture with Sony Music and the imprint will be distributed by Epic Records. It formerly operated under Interscope G&A&M from 2006 until late 2014. In the terms of the new partnership, Epic will provide marketing, publicity, handle distribution and overall label services for the imprint. The joint venture was created due to Timbaland's recent collaboration with L.A. Reid on Michael Jackson's XSCAPE. Most of MMG's roster will be under Epic, but One Republic is expected to remain with Interscope Records. Imprint Labels. The following is a list of labels Epic Records has distributed: current, Mosley Music Group, Balaga Heights, Collective Music Group, DC Flag Records, Free Bands, Immortal Records, Glowworm Records, Battery Records, Verity Gospel Music Group, Vested in Culture, Volcano Entertainment, former, 550 Music, Balaga Heights Records, Blue Sky, Caribou Records, Cold Chillin' Records, Date Records, Epic Records Nashville, Epic Street, Cleveland International Records, CTI Records, Tough City Records, Hidden Beach Records, Gamble, Glacial Pace, Invictus Records, Jet Records, Kirshner Records, Laughface Records, MJJ Music, Nemper Records, Ode Records, OK Records, Pasha Records, Philadelphia International Records, Portrait Records, Ruthless Records, Scotti Brothers, Solar Records, T-Neck Records, Taboo Records, TSOP, Work Records, Virgin Records, Epic Records Artists. Current artists. Logos. See also, List of record labels, Epic Sony Records, RCA Records, Columbia Records, References. External links, Epic Records Euro official website, Sony Music, parent company of Epic, Epic Records on MySpace, Epic US UK and our team contact list.